Everyone. I wanted to do a little video on how you can use therapy, because I even hear from a lot of counsellors that there is a specific way that even some counsellors think that people should be using therapy. And I've been pondering this because I don't agree with it. And I'm also aware that there is a certain way that many clients think they should be using therapy, and many clients just don't know. So I wanted to do a little bit of psychoeducation here, which is education around psychology, not psychopathy. And this is very well known to anyone who studies psychology. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this outlines the growth that we can hope for within our lives, or that we should strive for or aim for wherever possible. And we work our way up, so you can't get to that bit until you've done all the levels before. You can't get to this bit until you've done the 2 levels before. And the bottom level is physiology. So the first level that we need to aim for is to make sure that we have enough sleep, we have water, we have food, we have shelter and warmth, we're not shivering and cold, we have air to breathe. So this is about meeting your basic human needs. And it might sound very simple, and if we take this into a therapeutic setting, our basic needs are often not met. Certainly in this society, or for many neurodiverse people, sleep specifically is a really big issue for many people. Food, getting a balanced and healthy diet. I mean, the first level is just getting food and getting enough food. The next level is having a balanced diet, and for many people with sensory sensitivities, this is very, very difficult and very challenging to make sure that we get the balance, we get enough energy to get through our days. For people with ADHD, there's, craving that dopamine hit, craving carbs and sugar. It can be very hard to find the foods that actually sustain us throughout the day and prevent those kind of ups and downs in terms of crashing. And in a therapeutic context, that first level, if you don't have that first level in your relationships in your life, from a therapeutic perspective, it may simply be that you can have water in your therapy session. You're physically comfortable, you're warm enough, the bright lights are not bothering you, there's no sounds that are bothering you. In terms of your physical sensations and how you interact with the world, you feel safe and comfortable in the therapy room. The second level is around safety, and this is things like having personal security, so that you personally feel safe in your life. It's about having good health. It's about having resources, so you have access to enough food, you have access to money, you have access to the things you need in order to live your life. You have a home, whether that's rented or owned. It is somewhere that if it's rented, it's a long-term rental. You know you have the safety that you're not going to be kicked out. You're not going to lose your home. You have that safety. And again, this is a problem for many, many people. In terms of the personal security, if you suffer from anxiety, you're not going to feel that personal security. And so there's something about feeling that need of safety with your therapist in the therapy room. And if you haven't got that, you're not going to be getting to the top of that triangle yet. And that's okay. We have to take it as a series of stepping stones to focus on. And once you feel secure in each stepping stone, you then move on to the next stepping stone. So the second stepping stone is about safety. And your therapist can help you with that by reassuring you that it's okay to be here with whatever feelings you have. You're safe here. No one's going to interrupt. What you say is confidential. The roof's not going to fall in. You haven't got a leaky roof. It's things about the personal safety of where you are in that therapeutic session. The third level is love. Okay? So in your home life, when I say your home life, I mean your life outside the therapy room. It's things about belonging and connection, about having friends, having family. And again, this can be very challenging for some people. And if you don't have relationships in your life where you feel safe, where you feel that connection, you feel that people truly see you for who you are rather than some other facade that is not you, then this may be the stage you need to work on in therapy, and it's about developing that connection with your therapist. And when I say love, I don't mean like you fall in love with your therapist, because that's obviously not what's going to happen in the therapy session. But it's about feeling safe. Like you may start to feel as if they I don't know, have substituted a parent in your life, or an elder figure that can help you access that inner wisdom within yourself, and that can help you learn practice some tips or techniques for how to relate to people, how to communicate better with people. And so if this connection and belonging part of your life doesn't feel like it's complete, then that may be the level that you work at in therapy. It may be about how to develop those connections. For example, something as simple as how to express to your therapist when you're disappointed with them, how to tell them that you're angry with them about something. These are very difficult things to learn to do, the negative emotions to express to someone that you have a relationship with. And you do have a relationship with your therapist. It is the therapeutic client relationship. And it is a perfect place to practice those dynamics that may feel difficult in the kind of real world. The fourth level is esteem. Getting quite close to the top now. And this is about developing respect for yourself, so you have self-respect. It's about having respect from other people as well. So for example, when you do your job, you get recognition that you are good at what you do. You get praise for the things that you have done especially well. It's about having freedom in your life, freedom to make choices, to make decisions for yourself. It's about having inner strength, recognition that you are worthwhile as a person, that you give that recognition to yourself, but also that you get it from somewhere outside. And, you know, this is an enormous problem if people have grown up, for the neurodiverse population, if you've grown up having to mask who you are, you're not going to feel this esteem or the love or any of those things, because the person that's accepted is a fake. It's not you. And the real you is still hiding there somewhere inside, craving that love and that connection. The connection to the real person inside who's been having to hide themselves because they feel they can't be accepted for who they are. And the esteem, the recognition that you might get often feels misplaced. So for example, what's the name of it? Imposter syndrome. Very, very common actually among therapists, interestingly. But very common amongst the wider population, especially people who have ADHD or autism. And the reason that we feel this imposter syndrome is because if we are not truly being ourselves and we get praised for something we've done, there's often a reaction or an instinct to say, oh, well, that wasn't really me. I don't really deserve that praise. I'm somehow just making them believe that I'm better than I am. So part of the work here is to be able to hear this recognition, hear that praise. And again, that's something that you can do with your therapist, because therapists can comment on, for example, when you have done some really hard work in a therapy session, you faced something or done something that was really difficult. And it's about learning to accept the gift of that praise, that you can actually truly take that praise and put it in your heart and let it nurture you, rather than holding it away because you don't accept that it's a valid statement about yourself. The final level, at the very top of Maslow's triangle, is self-actualization. And some people equate this with kind of spiritual development, so the wisdom, the inner knowledge, the self-awareness, growing in compassion, those sorts of things are what happen at the very top of this triangle. And it's about being who you were born to be, being the best version of yourself that you can be. And I think, sometimes therapists feel as if they're failing if they don't manage to get their clients to this level. And I think that that is a really, really inappropriate way to respond. And clients feel that they're failing if they don't get to this level. But how can you be the best that you can be if you don't have enough sleep, you don't have a balanced diet, you don't feel safe at home, you feel anxious, you don't feel like you have a really good friend that you can truly rely on, that truly loves you for who you are? You don't have the respect of people in the workplace. How can you be the best that you can be if your environment is withering you and crumbling you? A plant, a little flower growing in the garden, cannot be the best it can be if you don't water it and it hasn't got nutrients in the soil. So why do we expect any more of ourselves? So this is one of the psychological theories that many psychologists and therapists will already know about, will know about, and many of you out there also will know about this, and I feel that it's a really, really useful framework to think about therapy in. So if you think about what am I going to do in this therapy session, have a think about where you feel you are on this triangle. I'll put a post under the, I'll make a note on the comments so that you know, I haven't written it down, Maslow, M-A-S-L-O-V, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's a really useful framework to remind yourself that we need to work our way up this, not just jump to the top, because that's just it's not gonna happen, it's not possible. So I hope that this has been of some help. I'm aware it's quite a long video, but I think it's really important to have some kind of framework to think about if you're going to therapy, or if you want to think about the stages that you might need to go through to get to where you want to be. And it can happen quickly. It can take years, or it can happen very quickly. And there are things that you can do in your own life to help improve your personal situation that can help move you up this triangle. But it's also important to remember that once you get to the top, you don't necessarily stay right at the top, because there may be life events that knock you down a bit. Like if you happen to lose your home through, some, I don't know, like a tornado or something, it can knock you down a bit. But once you get to the top, you will have those skills that can help carry you through more easily with greater strength and greater support. I hope this has been helpful. As always, if it has, please do consider subscribing or sharing with other people that you think may find this of help. I hope you have a fantastic week, everyone, and please be kind to yourselves and look after yourselves, and do not put yourself in a position where you're asking yourself to do something that you're not at that stage to do. Be kind. You deserve the kindness too. Take care.